Hey, it's me. Now, you've assuredly heard or read the phrase, wow, this is the thing ever, or this truly is the thing of all time. But what do these phrases really mean? Today, I'm going to be breaking down what makes these phrases linguistically interesting, why they're the most powerful value judgment memes in use, and why they're actually an insidious byproduct of the human desire to have one's personal opinion be factually correct. Why are these phrases interesting? Well, looking at them, we can observe that they are sentences clearly structured to contain an adjective, specifically a superlative, that is absent. At a glance, these sentences are amusing because they seem to be value judgments without actually judging value. Oh, and if I slightly or grievously misuse argumentative, rhetorical, or grammatical terminology during this video, I apologize. I'm working mostly off memory from high school since I'm not an expert on any of those three things. So let's talk about where these phrases came from. First of all, they're valueless value judgments, neutral value judgments. Humans have been making value judgments about things since we've had the ability to compare one thing to another. From practical uses of things for survival to opinions about media, we categorize things into good and bad. But of course, those values exist on a spectrum. From good to bad, there are countless things in their respective categories that fall between. And humans have always had ways to represent those things. Alright, decent, pretty good, not great. But even these words fall closer to either good or bad on the spectrum. We really have no superlative for something in the exact middle, which makes sense based on the actual purpose of a superlative. Or does it? Because we remedied this with the value judgment mid. It's a simple one-word description, and since it classifies the highest degree of value the thing it modifies is supposed to have, you could say that mid is a superlative. Why is this relevant? Well, the phrases we're discussing here seem to be extensions of the superlative mid. They're different variations of expressing that something truly lies in the middle of its respective category, not leaning one iota towards good or bad, but simply being the thing ever. But they go further than that. Because beyond being neutral value judgments, these phrases commentate the nature of the thing in question. The movie ever is a phrase that can refer to a film that's simply mid, but the phrase could also imply that the film is filled with overdone cliches with no subversive additions or changes, or that it follows a well-established plot structure with nothing added. So the thing ever also refers to things which are the bare-bones aspects of said thing without any additional information. But why do I state that these phrases are so powerful? Because they go even further than that. Because beyond the two aspects I've already mentioned, the thing ever refers to something else. It's not only a neutral value judgment, it's a blank value judgment. When you're talking about something and someone calls it the thing ever, your mind likely immediately knows what superlative belongs in the blank, or at least envisions a concept similar to a superlative that would be used. But that superlative can vary significantly. In fact, with every person who sees the phrase, a different superlative might formulate, one which might not even exist in the English language, perhaps a blending of multiple superlatives, which is possible since the phrase is entirely blank. There are infinite possibilities as to what the thing ever could potentially mean. And yet, when this phrase is used, almost everyone will probably decide on a similar conceptual superlative when they read the phrase in relation to something. This is a brilliant demonstration of memetics, and also probably a good time to define the term meme. According to dictionary.com, one definition of a meme is a cultural item that is transmitted by repetition and replication in a manner analogous to the biological transmission of genes. Which is good, but I prefer a different definition. A meme is a piece of information that is greater than the sum of its parts. A meme is like a cultural zip folder. When you see a meme, you know what the individual parts of it mean, and what they mean together. But your cultural context for the meme grants you an understanding that an observer ignorant of the cultural significance could not glean from the information provided. So when someone says that something is the thing ever, you likely know exactly, or at least very close to what sense the person originally intended, because of the power of memes. But what did I mean when I said that the phrase is a byproduct of humans' desire for their opinions to be correct? Well, I don't think I need to explain that there are a few people in the world that take their opinions too seriously and treat them like objective fact. And this is where yet another ability of the thing ever comes into play. With one phrase, two people can state different opinions about the same thing. Since the meaning of the thing ever always fluctuates slightly and can fluctuate dramatically between people, it can be used to state multiple opinions. But since no actual value judgment is given, the opinion can't really be countered. The only discussion to be had is whether the thing in question is actually close enough to one end of the spectrum to merit a higher level value judgment, to be considered pretty good or not great, or even good or bad or great or terrible. But when opinions about the thing ever in question are largely the same, the phrase can let many people assert differing yet incontestable opinions. It's a meme that can be used to make your opinion correct. Now, I'm not saying that that's the most common use of it, but still, I do wonder how many people may have that intent subconsciously on their mind when they say that something is the thing ever. Really gives you quite a bit to think about. In fact, since this phrase is a statement, I could really be referring to it throughout this video as the statement ever, which would nominate the phrase itself more specifically than saying the thing ever. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, the statement ever really is the statement ever.